Superman's gonna come for Metallo. He's gonna become seeking his second engagement with him. He knows that if he allows Metallo to continue believing that he was able to beat Superman, that this will inspire fear in the world, hatred, and injustice. He'll come to Metallo in front of the Metropolis citizens and ask Metallo if they can move their fight to another area. Metallo would smirk, almost as this request being his final request because he's about to die. The final fight between Metallo and Superman will be similar to the first one, but unlike the first one where Superman had no fear, Superman, this fight will be more cautious. One thing we haven't really discussed is the powers that Superman would display. Now, this is not a Superman that's going to use laser beams out of his eyes to defeat Metallo, because he's still human at the end of the day, and Superman wants to show the world that he won't go that far. In the first fight, Superman would have used his super strength. In this fight, Superman is going to be using his super strength, but knowing that he's in a weakened state, he'll be using more technique fighting. He'll be trying to pin down Metallo in a chokehold type of situation where Metallo could pass out. But, of course, Metallo being on kryptonite, that would be ineffective because kryptonite has given him way too much strength. Superman would try to break Metallo's arms so that he could no longer be a threat, but Superman would be too weak to do this because the kryptonite would be affecting him. Realizing that brute strength would be impossible to beat Metallo alone, this is where, again, Superman would dig down deep into himself, feeling the coldness and the pain that he felt the first time he fought Metallo. His breath would become icy, and we would introduce to Superman his ice breath. He will blast Metallo with ice, freezing him. This wouldn't kill Metallo because since he's powered by kryptonite, his body can withstand the freezing sub-zero temperatures. The world would be amazed that Superman has this capability. Even Superman will feel as though he never knew or doesn't really understand the true capabilities of his own powers. The world will be watching to see if Superman will go up to Metallo now that he's frozen and smash him. But Superman will leave him there for the government to pick him up. Superman will return to Metropolis, and that'll be the end of the battle. The world government will realize that Superman, even though given the opportunity to kill the very thing that stopped him the first time, chose not to. The government will relent and cancel the Metallo project, because even though they know that they can stop Superman, they now see Superman for a symbol of good and one that will not truly interfere with them or bring a threat to humanity. Metallo will undergo a surgery, and they will remove the kryptonite inside of him, and somehow, some way, through magic powers, John Corbin will become a human again. I don't know, I haven't thought that far into it, but It's funny. Superman will be the hero of Metropolis and become the hero of the world. People will ease their question of whether Superman will turn evil. And Lois, knowing Clark Kent's secret, will want to protect Clark Kent at all costs and his identity, so she will tell nobody. Jimmy Olsen will gloat to Lois, saying that Superman has always been a symbol for good and that he was right and she was wrong. And Clark will end the movie with feeling a sense of an accomplishment for the first time in his life, that he overcame something that wasn't just as easy as what he had experienced for his whole entire life, but also knowing that there are things out there that could stop him and that he needs to get stronger if he wants to become the protector of mankind. And with that comes the end of our tale. Thank you for watching, and like and subscribe. Also, since this is a comic book movie, there has to be a post-credit scene. And in 3, 2, 1. Who else did you think it would be? It's Lex Luthor. Yeah, Lex Luthor would have witnessed the whole thing, and the the comic book post credit scene would be basically him in a boardroom, and he would be doodling on his paper ideas and concepts of how to become the next Superman.